the summer. Summer couldn't make it, we just had babies. Let me get right into our problem, light pollution. This comes from commercial and residential external lighting. And we have a two-tiered approach to attacking this problem. One is a motion tracking subsystem, which will be coupled to tier 2, which is our light control system. In layman's terms, we want to find the motion, point a light, and we'll be providing the right amount of light at the right place at the right time. Our results for this semester focus on tier 1, which is motion tracking. And we track motion with a passive infrared sensor. We've developed a test fixture where we can map out the sensor's field of view, its sensitivity, and its range. And we have arranged 7 of these sensors in a radial pattern with overlapping coverage as the basis of our array. When a sensor detects motion, it outputs a logic high, which is pretty easy to work with, and we feed that into our Arduino microcontroller. From there, the microcontroller sends those signals through if loops, a series of if loops, and logical and/or comparisons are made from there, and that results in a 4-bit zone assignment address. So we have motion in one of 13 zones. This semester, we demonstrated that we can track motion and we can assign it a zone. In the future, we're going to obviously integrate the 2 tiers together into one solid system. We're also going to shore up our code on the firmware side so that we can have multi-target tracking and improve tracking response. Additionally, we want to do some hardware consolidation and see if we can integrate our design with any existing commercial or residential security systems. We'd like to take some questions. Yes, ma'am.
So you talked about adjusting the sensitivity in your different zones that you have overlapping. Now, one of the things that may come into play with your sensitivity of light, or while you're using lighting, is maybe the sunlight hitting through a window throughout the day will pick up this motion. Have you been able to define ranges within your zones to maybe exclude from your motion sensing? Or
Well, we've tested it outside and inside, and there's pretty much no difference. The data sheet said it's supposed to be good at tracking human motion. So there's on the end of the sensor there's a Fresnel lens, so that focuses everything on the actual sensor itself. So we're curious as to what happens when we take that off. So that the light you mentioned might actually come into play when we test next semester. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
So how does this compare to systems that are available today?
Systems that are available today, they track motion. But hey, I found motion. They detect motion. Our system tracks motion. Now there are other systems that track motion. They're really expensive. You have electro-optical sensors, radar, ultrasonic sensors, and they cost a lot of money. We were able to produce basically our sensor array at about half our budget, which is $300.
Hi. And I could explain a little further on what this product will be an alternative to that is currently on the market. The 2 products that we are looking to replace are, first, motion detecting lights that turn on when you step in front of them. And we want to extend that out to cover a whole yard so that rather than just lighting up maybe the front of your garage, this could be the whole lighting that you use for your backyard. And it's also meant to be a replacement for having multiple floodlights, hence solving the problem of light pollution. Because you will have one light that is where you are and is tracking your motion, so it lights up the part of your yard or a parking lot or something like that if it is a commercial application. But it'll be lighting up the area you're in rather than flooding the entire area with lights, which is both energy inefficient and a nuisance to neighbors. So those are the 2 current applications we're hoping that we can ultimately replace with our system.
Yes, sir.
Well, just a comment.
we could introduce that into our code fairly easy. Oh, yes, yes, and in fact, we actually, considered, like, say you know there's motion outside, and the sensor says, hey, we got motion. Some people, before they go outside, they might want to take another look around, right? So we could have, any, remote control of the light, like a rheostat, something that can move it around. So,
Last question.
So, instead of servo motor control, why not more LEDs and more zones? More lights instead of a servo motor? It would remove the mechanical component. So, you're using the servo motor control to actually control the lights, correct?
yes.
So, instead of the servo motor control, can you use more banks, more light banks, more LED banks instead?
Our LEDs are mainly for testing to tell us which sensor indicates motion and which zones indicate motion. So the idea is those will go away next semester and we'll just have one light. It finds motion, bam, what's good.
So, what I'm trying to think is instead of one light, can you have 3 lights in safe house instead of servo motor?
That's something worth looking at.